Snowflakes swirled outside the Hale mansion, dusting the towering pillars and twinkling rooflines like powdered sugar. Inside, golden chandeliers reflected off polished marble floors. The music was soft, a gentle backdrop to laughter, yet not the kind that warms hearts. It was cruel laughter. Pointed. Sharp. Mocking. 9-year-old Daniel Brooks stood frozen at the doorway, clutching a small paper bag of homemade cookies, his frayed brown sweater loose around his thin frame, his faded red scarf unraveling at the edges. His worn boots scratched the marble with every slight shift of weight. He didn't want attention. He only wanted to give something, a gift from his heart. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and like the video and tell us where you are watching from. Look at his clothes. Ethan Hale, 11, laughed, clutching his stomach. Emily, his little sister, cupped her hands over her mouth, giggling despite herself. He looks like he crawled out of a chimney. Their cruel voices echoed around the cavernous room, bouncing off walls that had never known struggle or humility. Daniel's cheeks burned. He lowered his gaze, small fingers clutching the cookies tightly. I made these, for you, he whispered, barely audible above the laughter. His words weren't met with kindness, they were met with amusement. Behind him, Samuel Brooks, his father, stepped forward. Tall, strong, hands calloused from years of hard work, he placed a steadying hand on Daniel's shoulder. Son, he whispered, crouching slightly so his voice was just for him, you did something brave today. That makes you richer than most. Daniel nodded weakly, trying to hold back tears. Their small apartment nearby had warmth money couldn't buy, a tiny wooden Christmas tree Samuel carved himself, handmade decorations, and laughter that filled the cramped space despite the poverty. Daniel dreamed of giving gifts, even if all he could afford were cookies made with love. Heavy footsteps echoed across the marble floor. Victoria Hale, elegant, poised, and icy, appeared. Diamond earrings sparkled in the warm light. White cashmere sweater flawless. Her posture is perfect. Her expression? Disgust. Samuel, she said sharply, voice cutting, why is this boy dressed like that in my house? This is a Christmas party, not a charity event. Daniel's gaze fell lower, humiliation tightening in his chest. Then came Richard Hale, tall and broad-shouldered in a navy-tailored suit. Gray eyes, cold, scanning. Did he even ask permission to enter? He demanded. We can't have anything disturbed, or stolen. Daniel's voice cracked. I didn't steal anything. I only brought cookies, Ethan smirked. Yeah right. His scarf looks like it belongs in a trash can. Emily giggled. Santa would never visit someone like him. Daniel swallowed hard. I just wanted to bring cookies. And maybe see the Christmas tree. His hand tightened around the paper bag. At school, everyone has new backpacks. Mine is tearing. I just wished for one that doesn't fall apart. Samuel smiled, soft and proud. One day, Daniel. You'll get everything you deserve. You have a good heart, that's more important than anything they wear. Victoria waved dismissively. Samuel, take him out. Now. This is embarrassing. Daniel turned, tears brimming, wiping his eyes as he headed toward the door. But then, the sound that would change everything, sliced through the room. A scream. Tiny, terrified, echoing. Ava Hale, the youngest, had leaned too far over the second-floor balcony while trying to hang an ornament. Hand slipping. Time slowed. The world froze. Samuel acted before thought, sprinting across the marble. Arms outstretched. Heart pounding. He dove. And caught her, inches from the cold floor, cradling her small frame against his chest. Silence. Complete, stunned silence. Victoria fell to her knees, hands trembling against Ava's hair. Richard's pride drained, his arrogance evaporated. Ethan and Emily stared, wide-eyed, shame overtaking their earlier mockery. Security footage replayed automatically on a tablet nearby, Samuel's heroic leap, saving their daughter. Daniel watched, his small hands frozen around the cookies, awe and relief mixing in his chest. Victoria approached Samuel slowly, voice cracking. I judged you. I judged your son, unfairly. I was wrong. She knelt to Daniel's height. Sweet boy, I am so sorry for how we treated you. Ethan, head bowed, stepped forward with a wrapped present. A backpack, he muttered, for school. Real, strong, new. Emily added a teddy bear. For your Christmas tree, she whispered, trembling. Daniel's tears fell freely. He hugged the gifts to his chest, overwhelmed by the kindness he'd never expected. The Brooks family was invited to dinner. They weren't pushed out. They were included. They were seen. At the long mahogany table, warm lights casting soft glows, Samuel sat beside Richard. Stories flowed, of neighborhoods where people shared what little they had, of quiet acts of bravery and honesty. Ava clung to Samuel's side, drawing with crayons, occasionally looking up with trust-filled eyes. Daniel, now surrounded by once cruel children, opened his backpack again and again, disbelief shining in his face. Ethan and Emily helped him, showing him ornaments, letting him place one on the tree. And all the while, music played softly, the air scented with roasted turkey, sweet bread, and cinnamon cookies. Yet the night wasn't over. Daniel noticed something, a shadow, moving swiftly along the hallway, barely visible. A man dressed in black, carrying something under his jacket. Daniel tugged at Samuel's sleeve. Someone's here, someone who shouldn't be. Samuel's heart tightened. He excused himself, quietly leading the children down the hall, eyes sharp. Moments later, a crash echoed upstairs. Ava screamed again. Richard ran. Samuel followed, his steps precise. Upstairs, Ava's room was in disarray. Ornaments broken, drawers open. On the balcony outside, the intruder stood, velvet box in hand. He smirked, daring, confident. Samuel's breath caught. This wasn't random. He knew the layout, the hidden paths. He cornered the intruder in the maintenance shed, using every tactic he knew. The man struggled, slipped, and was tackled by Richard. Security arrived. The truth spilled, the intruder had been sent by Richard's business partner, trying to steal wealth under the guise of holiday cheer. Betrayal cut deeper than winter wind. Downstairs, Daniel comforted Ethan and Emily as they shivered, whispering questions they were too scared to say aloud. When the Hales returned, shaken, their faces pale and their voices trembling, they found Daniel holding the children with gentle hands. Richard knelt before Daniel, gray eyes softening. "You kept my children safe tonight. Not just Ava. All of them. No one has ever shown them courage like this." Daniel looked down, whispering, "I was just trying to help." "Sometimes the smallest hearts carry the greatest courage," Richard replied. Victoria hugged Samuel, tears streaking her perfect makeup, thanking him for saving her child, twice. The children of both families crowded around the tree, placing ornaments, opening gifts, sharing laughter. The mansion, once cold with wealth and judgment, now glowed with warmth and understanding. Later, as the soft music carried through the grand hall, Samuel leaned close to Daniel and whispered, "Son, remember this. No matter how little you have, kindness is wealth no one can take away." Daniel's eyes shone brighter than any ornament. Ava nestled against him, giggling quietly. Ethan and Emily smiled without arrogance, their earlier cruelty replaced with respect. Victoria and Richard watched, humbled, understanding that courage, integrity, and love mattered far more than the opulence that surrounded them. The mansion, for the first time, felt like a home. Snow continued to fall outside, quiet and peaceful. The Christmas lights twinkled, reflecting off the marble, but the real glow came from hearts transformed by bravery, humility, and compassion. Wealth may fill a house, but kindness fills a home. And that night, in the Hale mansion, everyone finally understood the lesson that Daniel and Samuel had lived. True richness is measured not by what you have, but by what you give. Like this video, share it everywhere and tell us in the comment where you're watching from and what moment hit you deepest. Subscribe today and turn on your notifications so you never miss stories about humility and compassion. Wealth may fill a house but kindness fills a home. We celebrate you.